Peace to the family. This is Abdul Ali, candidate for U.S. House District 12 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's just be real, folks. The Democrats have destroyed our major cities. Their policies have made us less safe, they've given us less economic opportunity, and they've provided less educational opportunities for our children. And that's why I'm running for Congress, because I know what it takes to improve these issues. I've got great working relationships already in D.C. I've spent the last 10 years of my life building my political resume so that one of us, somebody who thinks like we do, could get into D.C. and make a difference. I want you to visit aliforcongress.com to find out more about my campaign. The Democrats have already done enough, and now they're putting illegal aliens in front of people like you and me, folks whose ancestors built this country and made it what it is today. So again, I'm asking you to support me in my run for U.S. House District 12 here in North Carolina. You don't have to live in North Carolina to support, because what happens in Congress affects the entire country. So again, it
ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun, you heard?
Got the screen on me. Let me show you how I really flex, Si. This is how I really flex. Look at this. You see this, Si? This is how I really flex. This is flexing, right? This is flexing, right? And this is just in this last year. All these books right here is on Amazon. I wrote. Not just read. I wrote. That's flex. Peace and blessings out there to everybody. My name is Dr. Inky, the founder of the Melanin versus Diabetes movement and ministry. Our goal is to fight diabetes by creating a biochemically literate society, one book at a time, one person at a time, one household at a time. Join us now by going to Amazon.com and getting all of the books, getting all of the books that you can afford. Even if you can't read them all, share them with family, share them with loved ones. Let's begin to study. And if you need tutoring sessions are available at AmericanHealer.website. I can give you one-on-one tutoring through these books. Let's build a biochemically literate society, one person at a time. Thanks in advance. All right, so y'all know we algorithmically challenged over here in these YouTube streets. Y'all know we algorithmically challenged over here in these YouTube streets. So, you know, these notifications don't go out. These got to go out word of mouth, right? It got to go word of mouth. And word of mouth in YouTube is called hit the like button. Right? Hit the subscribe. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like button. If you already subscribed to this channel, please do me a favor and unsubscribe and then resubscribe real quick. Like it's not even going to take you. Like I could put on a quick little ad, like I could go right back to commercial real quick little 30 seconds, quick little 60 seconds. And you then hit the subscribe and the like button. Like you could do that. Like that ain't even gonna take you no time. Let's actually try this out. Let's try this out. I'm gonna go to something real quick, and then either you gonna subscribe, or if you already subscribed, you're gonna unsubscribe and resubscribe, and then you're gonna go ahead and hit the like button. The like button is basically how you tell your people, hey, look, I'm watching EnQi. He getting ready to go in. This gonna be a classic. You know, EnQi getting ready to. We ain't seen EnQi go in his, we ain't seen EnQi go in his bag in a minute. Go ahead and you might want to tell a friend that is them again. Nature, Noriega, the wild gremlin. Yeah. We're gonna start with a quote from Queens. We're going, So go ahead and tell a friend that is him again, right? Because we got a few things to discuss, and I believe these things are important, right? And this is why, even with the little Charleston White clip that I was showing, it is in no way to throw a shot at Charleston White, right? But it's to say, listen, if Charleston White
is getting 10,000, 40,000, you know, all these crazy numbers to do YouTube videos, it should be no reason that Dr. EnQi, you know, forget Dr. EnQi for a second. It should be no reason that Sarnetta Studios is not really a real studio. If Charleston White could get 40,000, respectfully, Sarnetta should have already had a house built for him from the ground, like a real house with a studio in it already. Like, now y'all know I done went back and forth with Sarnetta. I didn't even try to recruit other niggas to help me go at right? But, you know, Sa has inspired the worst of us, and Sa has inspired the best of us because he's been around inspiring us so long. You got to think about that, right? When we look at this section of YouTube called the dirty section, Sarnetta created that. Everybody that's getting a check from YouTube in the dirty section, they should be taking their hat off to Sarnetta. Over on the flip side, with the conscious community on YouTube, for better or for worse, damn it, we all have to take our hats off to Sarnetta. Right? These are just unshakable facts. These are just unshakable facts. So I had a conversation with 10 Toes Down. Shout out to 10 Toes Down. Right? I don't want y'all to get this misconstrued. I'm not getting ready to start talking about 10 Toes Down mama and all kind of crazy. Like, no. I enjoy the entirety of the quote unquote dirty section of YouTube. I do. Y'all, the people that know me know that, because some of y'all be texting me like, yo, who is this person? Who is that person? Who is this guy you showing clips of? And this is like, so, you know, I've introduced a lot of people to 050 the movement page or Zip page or well, not 10 Toes, because 10 Toes kind of always been a part of the community in one way, shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? Even before he was out on the street, Sarnetta would discuss him and mention him, and so but yeah, because I believe in balance. I'm from 158th Street in the Bronx. I've never shied away from that. You know, when I came into the conscious community and guys was wearing, you know, military outfits and dashikis and just looking weird as hell, you know, I changed it up. You know, I'm the one that inspired them to get into, you know, Maury's, and you know, I'm coming to the lecture in the Range Rover and the, you know, like I just came with a whole different energy. You know, I'm from the Bronx, but my family from Harlem, so I you know, like I just came with a different energy, and I never switched that up. You know, a part of what I always wanted to contribute to the community is the comfort that you don't need to, like, you know, like being intelligent don't have to be weird. It don't have to, you know, like, you know, you don't have to switch up and like look away or talk away or sound away. So even when I take all the arrows and the knives in my back from these quote unquote smart people, because I'm the doctor with the gold teeth, and they say real doctors don't have gold teeth and real doctors don't use cuss words and all of these different things. You know, I drove by the fork in the road and went straight. You know, I drove by the fork in the road and went straight. So, you know, I'm a fan. Matter of fact, let me start with this also. Zip, I know you're going to see this video, Zip. Whether you see this video tonight, whether you watching this video right now, whether you see this video tomorrow. Yo, don't block me on Instagram. And definitely don't block me on YouTube, because I'll make another account to follow you under another name, nigga. I love I'm a fan. Listen, let me say this. I've never been too big to say or too manly or too masculine to say that I'm a fan of another guy. You know what I'm saying? I love Drake. I love LeBron. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that brothers have created a space on YouTube that's so entertaining. TV networks is in trouble because people come home from work and they want to hear. Now, here's the thing where a lot of y'all are fooling y'all. Let me say this to you, Zip. Let me say this to you, Zip. You made a big mistake the other day on your channel. And I wanted to you know, I said something. I really wish I could have had your number and called you when you said this. But it's good that, you know, things happen for a reason, so we kind of hear, right? And I appreciate you for saying my name and calling me out and cussing me out. You know what I'm saying? You really sounded like family. You really sounded, you reminded me of Zig. You know, my enlighteners from Corona, Queens. That's how I first met Zip. Zip probably don't remember that, but that's a whole nother story. But on your video the other day, you told everybody, you said, if you follow Hassan Campbell and you also follow me, I want you to delete my page. And you went off. Let me say this. The reality is, and I had to learn this the hard way in the conscious community, right? Because inside the conscious community, yo, didn't I say I was going to take a break and let y'all subscribe and like and all that? Well, just subscribe and like anyway. We forget the break. I done went on to, I done went into a tangent, right? So anyway, but beefing in the conscious community, and yes, 10 toes down, you 1,000% right. Zip, you at that. I don't know how this nigga Zip is a superstar. I don't even listen. Zip is a movie star. Listen, me and 10 toes down have a debate. Somehow this nigga Zip wins the debate and he not even in the debate. Yo, this nigga Zip was like the star witness of our debate type shit. I don't know. Listen, but I'm gonna say this: 10 toes down, you 100% right in the fact that I don't have the right to point the finger at y'all, even though what you were saying still needed correction, and I still needed to address it, and we still needed to have the conversation, because without that, we wouldn't be here. So I definitely appreciate you, though, for responding in a timely fashion. Obviously, Sa put the call in, etc., etc. But what I found out beefing in the conscious community, and this is why I say you one of the reasons why I say y'all are both right. We don't have the right to blame y'all for the goofballery that goes on the internet, because we started it. Right. There was a time where, now the crazy thing is, it shows the evolution, because in the beginning of Zip video, and I took so many clips, I got tired of clips and went to sleep. I stayed up all night last night watching videos, making clips. I fell asleep. So, but there's a point anyway, and I'm gonna show some of the clips. We're going, because I got to get to some, you know, we're gonna get in the bag. We're gonna get in the bag. But the evolution is shown, because Zip starts off his video. If you haven't seen Zip's video, everybody's seen Zip video. Everybody watches Zip, like, anyway. But he starts off his video giving props to Sarnetta, and this shit made me laugh. And I had mixed emotions, because it was crazy what he was saying, if you know the history, right? So let me make sure my mic is together. Okay, yeah, my mic sounds nice. So Zip compliments Sarnetta for setting up the platform for me and 10 to have an orderly debate. And he compliments Sa like, yeah, you know, this is how you have a respectful, you know, this is how you supposed to hash it out, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. People really don't know. So there's a time period in the conscious community where it was so street it was so street that people had to bring, like, you know, people had to have security. People was wearing bulletproof vests to the debates. Like, cats was coming with their old gang members, and like, it was crazy. So it took 10 to 15 years or so, maybe even more, like, to really put that chapter behind and kind of have an organized setting where people not, you know, like, and then even after the actual threats subsided, it was still online craziness with doxing and people putting your kids out there. Like, so it's nothing going on in the dirty section that hasn't went on in the conscious community. 10, you are absolutely correct, right? Y'all got it from us. It's a fact. Even the way the dirty section was born, right, was Sonetta and Hassan Campbell beefing, right? Sonetta and Hassan Campbell beefing. And that's how people became aware of Hassan. And, you know, so all of that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, the way Zip complimented the smooth debate and the respectfulness of the situation, that's from years of blood, sweat, and tears of trying to figure it out. And, like, you know, it's gotten there over time. You know what I'm saying? And so I know that, you know, the entertainment, you know, like, we are edutainment, or at least we attempt to be. You guys are more entertainment, and I know that it's going to take a little bit more time to go through your own growing pains, right? Y'all got to go through your growing pains, because 10, he brought up some good points, like, how did me and Sa squash our beef and get past it, right? And what I don't think came across, because I was looking in the chat and people didn't really catch it, you know what I'm saying? But what I said was, you know, guys that have been on the internet for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, technically still babies, you know, because we was doing this before YouTube existed. And then when YouTube started, we jumped on YouTube immediately. So we've been on YouTube for 10, 20 years, going back and forth, doxing, showing pictures, copyright striking. I done lost 10 YouTube pages at least, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even, so we've been through all those ups and downs. And so, you know, some people feel like Haas just did a video. Haas, please stop showing your backyard, bro. You gotta relax. Yo, you gotta relax. You got a nice backyard, bro. Please try to act like you used to something, man. You like, come on, man. You gotta relax. You got a nice backyard, man. But you're doing like 5 tours of the backyard per video now. Like, this shit, yo, that shit getting crazy. But I was talking about he can't be in the same room with certain people and all that, bro. You gotta relax. If you could be around Bam, you could be in the same room with Bam after your claims, then you could be in the same room with anybody else. There's nothing that 10 Toes or Zip or anybody on the internet ever did to you that could come close to what you say that Africa Bambaataa did, right? So, you know, that's not beef. That's not me taking a shot at you. That's not me disrespecting you. That's just real, brother. It's bigger fish to fry out here. It's larger and more important things. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you say you about what you say you about. You know what I'm saying? If you really about these babies and giving them a better example. Because I'm gonna be honest, a lot of you may think that when you say, like, you ain't really built for this life and blah, 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 that you're giving a good example for the babies, but it's really not. It's really not. It's really not a better example, because you're teaching the young men, like, warrior code is the way to, and there's certain things we need to grab and hold fast from warrior code, but some of the things we don't need that. You know, some of the things that you may have learned in gladiator school or on the street, like it's not those things. We don't need to translate that, pass that on. We don't need to pass that on. Right. And that's kind of where the major conversation is going to go. But Zip, seriously, respectfully, in all humbleness, don't block me off your Instagram. I look forward to that content. Zip is the funniest nigga on the internet. Everybody that watched Zip, the reason why your page grew so fast, Zip, is because you feel like a family member to everybody that watched your page. Like you feel like a family member. So y'all can make jokes about Zip on his couch if y'all want to. That couch is gonna wind up becoming like a studio, like that, his living room. Like y'all forget that all of the famous shows that we grew up on, the main set is usually the main set of the Cosbys was the living room and the kitchen. The main set of the Archie Bunker, you know, what was that? I forgot the name of Archie Bunker show. But it might have been Archie, I don't know. But the main set of that was the living room. The main set of the Jeffersons was the living room. The main set of Good Times was the living room. So y'all playing games with Zip. Zip is I'm not going to say playing fool to catch the wise. You know what I'm saying? But Zip is a lot smarter. Zip is a lot smarter than he lets on, right? So are a lot of the people in the quote unquote dirty section. I know because I spoke to China Brim on the phone before. That's why I always play that clip from China Brim, right? Because, you know, every so often, if you listen to them long enough, see, this is the thing about New York, and this is why we got to have this conversation. New York has roots, and the thing where I was wrong, and I have to admit that I got to be accountable. 10, I gotta be accountable. 10, I gotta hold myself accountable before I can, you know. But New York fell off, and you could get into your government conspiracy bag and all that if you want to, because this would be an opportune time for that. You know what I'm saying? That may all play a role, may not, but it's that big, right? New York was the center. New York was the intelligence center for Black America, right? Even when you think back to the South and the North, and, you know, folks trying to escape the South to get into the North for what? They're trying to get into the North because the North represented the fast business, but that was predicated on education. You know, the smart folks, the hip folks, like all of the upstairs energy was New York, up north, you know, up north. Now, you know, emotional intelligence is something totally different than intellectual intelligence, right? Emotional intelligence has always been rooted in the South. And this is why when people from the North or from the Midwest came down to the South and maybe tried to violate some of the people in the South thinking they dumb, you know, them situations turned dangerous very quickly because they was far from dumb. But because there's a difference between being smart and being book smart and being street smart. Like you can be book smart and not be street smart. You can have book intelligence and not have emotional intelligence. Like, so it's levels to it. But in terms of thinking quick, processing information, setting trends, and that's always been up north, right? And so we lost that, right? And that was the, you know what I'm saying? But everybody knows, everybody that watched me, they didn't see me, they didn't seen this 1,000 times.
The world knew New York as Muslims, as gods. When I was growing up, we had knowledge of self. I was a god body. I'm still acknowledging myself as that. I had knowledge of self. New York, we need to get back to being civilized. Off this gang shit, off the blood, off the crip. Let's go back to the essence, nigga.
Back to the
Let's go back to being civilized.
Y'all done see me play that 1,000 times. And the people that watch me all the time, they be like, yo, why are you playing them guys that talk like that? Like, why are you playing? Because that represents a huge culture of people that's who we need to talk to. See, talking to people that's vegan about being vegan, you're not really changing lives. You got to talk to the people that don't understand the value of a plant-based culture, right? You got to, especially people that don't know that they've been living a plant-based culture, right? Take Zip, for instance. And we're going to get to this because a lot of y'all might think this conversation just started right now. But Zip just did some videos where he was violating Dr. Sebi. So it's conversations that need to be had, right? So if you're every video of you blowing trees, right? You don't realize you participate in plant-based culture. If you somebody that went to prison for selling, you may or may not realize that you was partaking in plant-based culture, right? There's multiple sides of plant-based culture, right? What I said, hold up, I got a bar. I said, we ain't stopped selling trees, we switched to other plants or something. I forgot the bar. But anyway, my point is education is the key. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we go back to, we got to do a little history, right? We got to do a little history. And I'm going to take the L. I'm going to take the L because I'm the young elder, right? I'm the young elder that for all of the different strings of the consciousness, I'm left to represent and hold the traditions, right? From the holistic space, I'm left to hold the tradition. Sebi got kids, but none of them, they running around making money, but they don't know the science, right? You got other students of mine, Yakis and KTs, and they don't really, like, so I got to represent that culture. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in the Bronx, I got to hold the culture of the supreme mathematics. I got to make sure that while consciousness is growing, we're not forgetting, I got to make sure that, Elijah Muhammad and them is like, I got to make sure that even no matter how much they get criticized or people talk about his babies or underage, this and that, like whatever they saying, I got to make sure that y'all can have all them disagreements or debates that y'all want. We still got to make sure we put a certain amount of respect on these men's names and make sure we polish off these legacies, because what happens when Sebi gets denigrated too much, Elijah Muhammad gets denigrated too much, Father Allah gets denigrated too much, right? And, Dr. York and his shenanigans largely contributed to the fall of New York. But so all of these things over time contributed, because like, even if you look, and I know it might seem like I'm switching gears, but even if you look at what we know of as the dirty section, I don't call them the dirty section. I call it 050 the movement. I call it Zip with the Drip page. I've never used that terminology, right? Yeah, I need another terminology, because that's the dirty section. It's not. Yeah, I needed another terminology. You know what I'm saying? But they go at each other, right? Because each person subscribes to a moral code, or supposedly subscribes to a moral code, and they feel like it's their job to expose other people that's not living up to that moral code, right? So certain people believe that 10 Toes is not credible because he got his escapades with the pictures, Picturegate, right? Picturegate, right? So we violating 10 because of Picturegate, regardless to whether he sold the pictures, his lady, whatever the case may be. Zip Zip is not, you know, we can't respect Zip because there's knife gate, you know, whatever happened, whoop, whoop. And China, you know, maybe China, you know, 10 show some pictures with China, or China's showed fake Jim Jones, or like, reality is everybody is trying to come from poverty situation and create a better life for themselves, right? And the reason why it's important to understand the knowledge had to be first. Supreme mathematics. Knowledge comes before. Like we trying to build culture, and you can't have understanding, you can't have wisdom without knowledge. Knowledge got to come first, because you can't have a real moral code without knowledge. What is the moral code based on? If there's no knowledge, if there's no knowledge base that's shared amongst the people, there could be no moral code that's shared amongst the people, right? It just can't happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you get certain, you know, like even Bimmy is in there now. Bimmy is in there now. The after Davis, like you know, where's the after Davis? You know what I'm saying? But you know, online doesn't really affect offline, because Bimmy is still in LL's new video. You know, Bimmy's still in LL new video. Bimmy's still popping. The music still, you know, like his real life ain't, you know, affected or you know, it's, you know, so we got to realize at the end of the day, I may have came off the wrong way. Like, you know, like I'm saying, you know, that the dirty section of YouTube is the problem. Not acknowledging myself, not acknowledging the content, not acknowledging our contributions to the problem, right? Or saying that shouldn't exist. Hell no. I'll be disappointed. Like right now, I'm gonna keep reminding Zip to not, like, you better unfollow me, nigga. Like whatever you did, reverse it. Yo, Zip got mad. Yo, that was crazy. Zip was like, yo, I unfollowed Dr. Inky immediately. Bro, that had me cracking up, laughing right up until I checked and seen this nigga really unfollowed me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to start my video off with copping a plea. Yo, they're gonna say Inky is not credible because he was copping the plea to Zip because Zip unfollowed. I don't care what they say. I like Zip. You know what I'm saying? I like Zip content. You know what I'm saying? Like Cam and Mace. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's beautiful to see cats from where I'm from does, you know, like that's really the culture. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's lopsided. You know, now Cam and Mace found a way to do something spectacular, you know, take the culture to sports. Like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But the culture's lopsided. So, you know, it's nothing wrong with, you know, now there's some things we're going to get to in a second. Like, I don't want y'all to think this video is going to be 10 minutes and then we out of here. But just know, right, at the end of the day, right, I get it. I got to hold myself accountable. But at the same time, we got to have some discussions, because the fall of New York came with the fall of the 5% nation, the gods and the earths, and the continuing fall of the Zulu nation, right? So we damn near got to go back to 1964, right? Because it's 1964 that you get the official Zulu nation, right? Because originally Zulu Nation is the Black Spades. Originally, Zulu Nation is the organization. You know what I'm saying? Like La Costa Nostra. You know what I'm saying? But it was it was actually the coming together of the New York gang culture, and saying that they had to really stand for something more than the streets and the violence and the you know, they had to put something together where they was rebuilding real, you know, something that you know, that meant something, you know, not just transient you know, chasing a few dollars or making a name for yourself, or, you know, like something that could last. Right. So, you know, I have to credit, you know, my life being saved, you know, by a black spade in the Bronx house. You know what I'm saying? You know, I spent a few nights in the hotel. I spent a few nights in the hotel, you know, and it was a brother from the black spades on the next bunk that told me how to move around. And 2 days later, I needed his instruction because a Muslim dude tried me. You know what I'm saying? And he was way bigger than I was. It might not have went, you know, it might not have went so well for me. You know what I'm saying? But homeboy from the black spades, he let me know, like, yo, you know, somebody getting ready to try you. Trust me, because I see a few cats, you know, when you're a vet, you know what to look for, you know. In your best interest, you might want to operate with that 180. You know what I'm saying? Back then, that's what they called the hot water. And you know, I had a small little situation that 180 took care of it. But it was called 180 because the water was like 180 degrees. So regardless to size or number, you know, properly applied, that 180 could, you know, get a nigga to be cool. You know what I'm saying? When tempers flare, that 180 can cool a nigga off. Right. So but those groups, those street gangs led by the Black Spades, you know, they became the organization, and then the Zulu Nation, the Civil Rights Act, Lyndon B. Johnson. I think Sidney Poitier got the first Oscar. That, like, a lot of real black, it was a lot of black, you know, the 5%, like, officially, you know, stamped the ground somewhere around then, like, you know what I'm saying? Even though they going through it, because what's his name? Is it Saladin? Went and copyright the flag on his own, and he ain't consult the elders, right? Listen, y'all may not think my ears to the street, but I know what's happening all over the place, because I got to stay, you know, as the young elder, I have to be abreast of all the developing situations. You know what I'm saying? Above radar and below radar. You know what I'm saying? But I think, you know, he probably should have did that a better way. But I think that it was probably best that he did that. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody needed to do it, right? So, but anyway, my point is, you know, going through the crack era, right? Going through the 80s, a lot of the gods turned into crackheads and dope fiends. Like we can't get to, you know, all these people on the internet blaming the street gangs in New York, you know, which in its current state starts with OG Mac, right? But you can't really put all that blame on him without thinking about the situation that young black men was in the late 80s, early 90s in prison, right? Because the gods was the strongest thing moving. The gods were superheroes to us, you know. So when they fell to the drug war, you know, and start looking like, you know, zombies and you know, like it just, you know, it hurt us badly. Like even the rap music, the rap culture was the gods. Like it was, you know. So when they fell and became vulnerable, and, you know, they set the lessons aside and they set their morals aside, and then that's where doing anything to make a dollar comes in. You know, like that's where doing anything to make a dollar comes in. You know, in hindsight, if you look at it from the outside looking in, you can't really blame somebody from pulling something from the West Coast. You know, now Whack 100, he speaks out of ignorance because he, you know, oh yeah, the gang goes, bro, you got to relax. It was gangs in New York when there was no people in California. Like there wasn't even any people in California. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't nothing to be proud of, but it's like, y'all gotta stop letting Whack, you know, be more important than he's, you know, like Whack gotta relax. Whack gotta relax. You know what I'm saying? But I love watching Whack content. You know, I like, you know, 100 ENT, Mr. Clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen the whole thing. I seen the takeover from the inception. You know, it was remarkable. You know, Whack's on a hell of a run. Right. But that doesn't mean everything he says is meaningful. It's entertainment at the end of the day, you know. But it starts with that, you know what I'm saying? And it continues to the fall of Zulu Nation with, you know, Africa Bambaataa. With Africa Bambaataa. And, you know, there's never really going to be any clarity on that situation, you know. And I could tell you, as somebody that had friends in chapter 14, you know, I used to be at Parkside Plaza, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you know, I'm from the Bronx for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was always rumors that, you know, Bam had different preferences, but, you know, it never went further than that. You know, it never went further than that. So, you know, we do have to realize there's two sides to everything going on. There's a impact culturally to losing the respect of the Zulu nation, to losing the respect of the nation of the gods and earths. You know, Farrakhan did all he could to hold the Nation of Islam together, but Rizzi Islam, Scientology, like, it's not, it's not the Nation of Islam that, that's not the Nation of Islam that Malcolm and that inspired, Cassius to become Muhammad. Like, that's not the same, that's not the same group that inspired Luau Sender to become Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like, that's the reason why Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is never mentioned in GOAT conversations. The same reason that Jaylen Brown wasn't invited to the Olympics, right? Because it is politics in the NBA, right? An NBA team owner is a governor. That's his title. So if you think there's no politics in NBA, you are sadly mistaken. Right. So anyway, all of these are things that contribute to the fall of New York. And, it's not the responsibility of other people to deal with these things. It's the responsibility of people that are creating platforms. You know what I'm saying? If Haas feel he got certain things going on with Sa, I haven't seen Jabari on his platform. I haven't seen him promote no culture on there. I done heard him spew out a few twisted, conspiracy theories, like the world is going to end. You need to do this and that. Like, but I haven't seen him really promoting no culture seriously on that page over there. The closest he's got is promoting Hocus. You know what I'm saying? That's the closest Hassan has gotten to promoting anything really positive. Shout out Hocus. Hocus is always trying to do something positive for the hood, even when it hurts him to stay in the positive space. Hocus is always, he always tries to hold on to the to stay on the right side of the line and do what's best in the name of the, for the community and all that. So shout out to Hocus. But that's what we're talking about now. So that's background. Hopefully that wasn't, gibberish. Hopefully that was, hopefully you can grab some and really add something meaningful to the conversation. Now, if you haven't heard any of this conversation, That's because you're not in the YouTube streets, you're not in the clubhouse streets, you're not in, you know, you're not in the pop culture places where the fall of New York is conversation, right? But New York gave the world rap. New York gave the world a lot of fashion. New York gave the world, so, you know, the state of New York, you know, think about it. New York is the empire state. You know what I'm saying? The state of the empire is really New York. Like it's never been Washington. You know what I'm saying? It's always been New York. So it's an important thing, especially when we think about the consciousness, regardless to whether, you know, it's Israelites or Islam or holistic this or that or the other. You know, it's like the magical streets of Harlem has always been the broadcasting space for the Black voice to reach the masses. Whether you go back to the days of the poets, right? The soapbox, that, you know, like it's the Harlem streets have always been magical that way to get the Black voice to travel around the world, right? So that's where some of the things that sometimes my followers, you know, they like, Inky, what are you doing? Inky, what are you doing? Why are you talking to, like, what are you doing over there? Why are you wrestling with people? Because people that are already exercising don't need you to tell them to exercise. People that are already eating a certain type of way don't need you to tell them to eat a certain type of way. Right? So there's other conversations that need to be had. Right? Let's take a look over here real quick. Let's take a look over here real quick.
I've been trying to figure out, is the pedophile conversation is what's getting under people's skin, or is it your curiosity?
Because obviously, if I'm in the club with everyone else, you know, you had to think that I was of age. You know, so, you know, I made everybody believe that I was older than what I was. And maybe I'm forgiving, I'm an adult now, and I'm apologizing for the 15-year-old kid that didn't know no better.
All right, well, first of all, when I say New York is losing, I don't mean New York as a whole, as the city, the Big Apple. We're not losing when it comes to how we stand up in reference to if it's government, if it's whatever it is. I say we are losing when it comes to this YouTube thing, and all of these brothers are out here, and because majority of the dudes that's on the YouTube channel are from New York. And when I say majority of the dudes, I'm talking about the dudes from that section, the dirty section. They named it the dirty section. So Inky, you put me part of that section, saying you're all in the same barrel, in which I believe I'm not part of that section. They promote prison. That's what they promote. They promote violence. They promote hate, and they promote destruction. When it comes to Hassan Campbell, his mission was sexual assault, molestation, and all this stuff that people been through. When I first came out, my mission was, what have you done for your community? Him and two other YouTubers. I'm not even going to say their names, but they were big. They was like the main big three YouTubers. So when I came out the gate, asking, what have you guys done for your community? Because you're claiming to get all of this money. You're claiming to do all of these things within the community. It's only one person that proved to me that he does work in the community, and that was King Erna. And I got that through Sonetta. Sonetta made the call and linked me and King Erna. King Erna got me somewhere to go and look
and I looked and seen everything that he did on the in his community and other communities. So I respect that. I fell back from him. I never made a video about him. I never came at nobody, came at him since I've been on YouTube.
The Lollipop crew. I'm gonna get a little HC. I'm gonna call them HC. When it comes to HC, right? Little band, the Lollipop crew. I'm gonna give y'all a brief history, a fact check on it. The West Indies and the whole Caribbean. You know what it is, man. Why would Bambaataa choose Hassan Campbell? Why would he choose him? Repercussions. Yeah, why? Why would he use him? Let's go to the root of it. Let's go to the root of hashish. Why would he choose him? You know why he chose him? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell y'all what Hassan Campbell told me. All right, I'm gonna give y'all the facts of what he told me. Right, and the importance of telling y'all this is that y'all can get a clear view, a better understanding of his mental state, why he do what he does, and he never seeked help yet, and why he hates me the most out of anybody. Anybody on this YouTube, he hates 10 toes down the most. So, but before we get into that, let's get into that. Let's get into that first. Bambaataa was able to choose him because, as he said, not only on this YouTube thing, but to me personally.
And then you said 90% of the people would say, I'm known for battling dirty, or whatever you said, something about battling back and forth for Hassan Campbell. They would associate me with them. 90%. Where you get that number from?
Whack. Let me tell you something.
Am I right or wrong?
Hold on. Let me tell you something, man. You ain't cleaning up ratting to me, homie. So I'm gonna take it off of him because I don't want nobody to make it like, you hating on him, you and him be going back and forth. I'm gonna put it on me. Though it's not me, but I'm gonna make it like it's me saying it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can look at me as.
Are you talking about the drip, nigga?
Yeah, zip with the drip.
Damn, but you gotta have the work though, bro.
I got the work, bro. But listen, outside of the work, paperwork, I got video of him saying it himself out his own mouth. There's no need to even get papers. He's saying it out of his mouth what he did.
Yeah, bro, but y'all sent me a bunch of the other day, and that ain't no real work, bro.
All right, hold on. If I say like this, we gonna set it off like this. That ain't no real work.
I mean, I don't with the nigga. I just don't run no fake work on niggas, bro.
All right, so this ain't fake work.
I just sent it to you. No, because you sent excerpts. You sent excerpts. It's nothing identified. But when you send a nigga paperwork, it's top to bottom. You just don't take a little clip and say, boom, we don't know what was said before or after, who that paperwork is tied to. The nigga don't know the nigga, but if you a penitentiary like me, we gonna keep it real. Make sure it's right. But if you a penitentiary like me, we gonna keep it real. Make sure it's right. Chuck, I just
all right, so check it out. Whack, look, Whack, check it out. Look, Whack, watch this. Look.
Yeah, I get it.
Me and you in prison, Whack. Me and you in jail. Me and you have don't nobody see me and you getting it on. I'm in the gang, you in the gang. After the fight is over, you try to cut me. You had that you was trying to cut me with, meaning you was trying to scratch me. So for everybody else from the other coast, scratch means cut.
They know that.
City.
They know that.
Okay, so then you try to scratch me, but the razor, the scalpel was dull, so you couldn't get a good from me. But
let's go, Inky. Time will start when you're ready.
Again, okay, so we can start the time now. Although I'm challenging the statement of why New York is losing. So I'm challenging his reasoning. His reasoning is that New York is losing because of, the Zips, the Hassans, etc. But in that video, he never included himself. So what I'm saying is you are a part of the Zips, the Hassans, the 050, the movements. And yes, I seen the video where you said you was apologizing to everybody and blah, 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 blah. But then you came on Math Hoffa video with Soul B and Benny, and y'all shot at everybody that you said you was squashing the beef with, right? He went right up there on the Math Hoffa show, and literally all hell broke loose after that show.
When I went on the Math Hoffa show, I didn't say nothing that I said in the past already. Everything I said, nothing was new under the sun. Everything that I said. And I didn't say nothing so concerning to make them be in their feelings. So guess what happened? The reason why it went haywire and everybody went crazy is because Math Hoffa platform is such a big platform that they use that to get views. See, when it comes to them, everything is about views. When it comes to 10 Toes, I don't care about the views. I make videos, I don't even care about a view. I've been on YouTube for 2 years. I didn't get paid a dime. I didn't, no monetization, nothing. Because that wasn't my focus. I was just following Sonetta and just trying to get inside the light and hopefully that I could make a change.
Do you believe Hassan Campbell's story?
No, sir.
Elaborate for us.
The reason why I don't believe the story because I'm the one that went and got him a lawyer. I have it on record. I played that part. Did you listen to that? I got the lawyer, had the lawyer on the phone, and he backed out. And this was before the deadline to where he was able to bring charges against Africa Bambaataa. And the lawyer said, even if he can't bring charges, we can hit him financially. Hassan said, yo, get somebody else to do it. Why don't get B Stinger one of them to do it? So that's why I believe it didn't happen.
So that's why I believe it didn't happen.
Do you believe B Stinger's story?
Yes, I do believe B Stinger.
I don't know this man for doing anything with underage kids. Stand by that.
Do you believe B Stinger's story?
Yes, I do believe B Stinger.
Now, I'm not saying don't forgive. Or you can do what you want to do. This is your life, and this is what makes you feel good or feel better. But you said it's like, you know, you forgive. And it felt like God, you know, and you forgive Bambaataa. What are you forgiving him for?
I mean, I sat here and said it a whole bunch of times.
No, you said that
for letting him.
But what are you forgiving him for? What are you forgiving him for?
Because obviously, if I'm in the club with everyone else, you know, you had to think that I was of age. You know, so, you know, I made everybody believe that I was older than what I was, and maybe I'm forgiving. I'm an adult now, and I'm apologizing for the 14-year-old kid that didn't know no better.
You're a strong brother. Now you know I gotta ask you this: what do you think the tensions is gonna be when Hassan Campbell hear you say he is not a pedo? How do you think Hassan Campbell is going to take that? Because that means that Hassan Campbell have to be lying or something. Because Hassan came out and said he molested everybody, all the kids in the projects, which I know is exaggerated. You know, it's exaggerated. But how you think?
Man, listen, that's way beyond exaggeration.
Go ahead, talk about it.
You know, that's way beyond exaggeration. But you know, I didn't come here to talk about what's his name, Hassan, the Hassan guy.
Yeah.
I didn't come here to talk about him. I'm coming to talk about my closure. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? And
because you know he's gonna be talking right after this.
Listen. I don't care what nobody has to say. You know what I mean? No one is gonna steal my happiness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And you know, listen, that's what it is. You know, people can say what they want to say. You know what I mean? But I know that was never ever the rumor. You know, I don't know this man for doing anything with underage kids. Stand by that.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask the question before it even pop up, and we be the first one to get the answer. Some people gonna come out and say, oh shit, they put it in the chat too. Some people gonna come out and say, Bam paid you, Bam gave you a check, and this is why you have flipped the script and you are now saying the opposite. Did Bam offer you any money? Did you get paid for doing this, brother?
Listen, Katona Park was the first time that I seen that man in a very, very long time. And that was the first time I talked to him in a very, very long time. You know what I mean? So obviously, ain't nobody he didn't offer me nothing. I mean, I talked to him for like a minute.
So you need to think in terms of not so much of your, I mean, it's of yourself, but also $100,000 or something. Wait, let me get this part. Hold on. 75.25. How's that, man? Yeah, give me a number. See what Bam true.
So how you believe B Stinger and not Hassan Campbell?
Because the facts is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Look at B Stinger. Look at him. That wasn't B Stinger before. That messed him psychologically. He on all kind of medication. He twitching. He doing all kind of stuff. That thing messed with him mentally.
I'm not saying that I know everything, but I want to say something to that. All the parties involved, and I'm going to put something out there. You know, we are all concerned on people's sexual preference. To speak for myself, when it comes to Africa Bambaataa, don't care whether or not Africa Bambaataa prefers men. Yes, we do care if word pedophile is used. Obviously, according to source.
I don't know this man for doing anything with underage kids. Stand by that.
The reason why I'm going to have this conversation today and tonight is this. I've been trying to figure out, is the pedophile conversation is what's getting under people's skin, or is it your curiosity? Not just Africa Bambaataa, anybody that I know. I want to be so clear. I want everyone to be happy. Enjoy whatever you want to enjoy. No one's pushing their thoughts on me, so I'm not concerned.
First question. Do you believe Hassan Campbell's story?
No, sir.
Elaborate for us.
The reason why I don't believe the story, because I'm the one that went and got him a lawyer. I have it on record. I played that part. Did you listen to that? I got the lawyer, had the lawyer on the phone, and he backed out. And this was before the deadline to where he was able to bring charges against Africa Bambaataa. And the lawyer said, even if he can't bring charges, we can hit him financially. Hassan said, yo, get somebody else to do it. Why don't get B Stinger wanted him to do it? So that's why I believe it didn't happen.
Do you believe B Stinger's story?
Yes, I do believe B Stinger.
So how you believe B Stinger and not Hassan Campbell?
Because the facts is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Look at B Stinger. Look at him. That wasn't B Stinger before. That messed him psychologically. He on all kind of medication. He twitching. He doing all kind of stuff. That thing messed with him mentally. So I think that this is your time now, Inky Real. I think it's time for you to man up and step up, and you be the voice and go to them and say, you know what? I just had a debate with 10 toes down. Me and you need to talk, Zip. Me and you need to talk, China, Harlem. Get all of them and say you need to talk to them because you're the elder. You from the conscious community. Let's start bringing some consciousness to the goddamn dirty section.
Health is your real wealth. You know, that's what we talk about. So Even like the Mayweather boxing fitness gyms that I have, around the country as well as around the world. We just truly believe in health is your wealth. We want you working out. We're nobody's going to be here forever, but while we're here, we only have one body, we only have one temple, so we have to take care of our bodies, and that's what I'm doing. If I'm not going to invest in anything, I'm going to invest in myself. Health is your real wealth, so I got to make sure that I'm staying in good condition, in good shape.
Go to Amazon now. Get the generational health curriculum for you and your family.
Written treatise. I knew the drugs had worn off. I had to be as critical as possible so that maybe you would leave all this alone. See, we could leave all of that in the past, man. All I want to know is, does 1 times 1 equal 2, man? You see, you just couldn't leave well enough alone, could you, Terrence? You know you can't just go around rewriting mathematics, right? It's not for us to do, Terrence. I have to get rid of you once and for all. You ain't gonna kill me, man. Oh, I am going to. Because there's only room for one black genius at a time, Terrence. And that black genius is gonna be...
Okay. So, let's now that we're getting this thing warmed up a little bit. I want y'all to go take a break. Take a break before we get to the second half. It's halftime.
It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you heard? Faith and love. The faith and love. Yo. A.A. Rashid is with Griselda. Oh, it's that time to start robbing niggas now. If I jack for life for them cars, you know how he go. He stunting rentals. I might get knocked by the repo. Plus he snitching. That's new cars and probation. I'ma have to rob Sinetta old ass for them YouTube donations. Once I start robbing niggas, you gonna see the bitch come out rich. He gonna try to hide behind Bambaataa and Professor Griff. For real, add more niggas to the pot. That's how you spoil these. I'm taking Cam CD money and so late royalties. Rich gonna try to call the bills over this pistol shit. But that's only gonna get them niggas robbed for like crystal shit. Rich gonna call Supernova next, but I can handle the ball. I wait for him to go OT and sneak rob his store. I ain't tussling with that nigga. He got a couple screws loose. King Simon is a puppy. He the conscious blues now. He a big dog and the elder, so I'm sorry, bro. But you and Lloyd laying down for that numerology, though. This ain't serious. Being conscious can make you delirious. So we live and have fun, but I'm just saying, shit get different when the rabbit got the gun. This ain't serious. Being conscious can make you delirious. So we live and have fun, but I'm just saying, shit get different when the rabbit got the gun. Mama Bill gon' call me on the phone like Inky was us. I'ma just rush her off the phone and send her.
I hope Rizzy 19 and Ben don't think I'm funny. I'm tying them Muslim niggas up for that bean pie money. We kidnapping Wesley for ransom like a movie. We got Farrakhan fuck around and say keep him. We got Nuri Muhammad, Billy Carson, brand new, building this bag. But I'm a pistol with that nigga. He be stealing my swag. If you waiting for me to rob Unc and Chief, you don't know tricks. It's way too much heat trying to rob the police. Now when I catch the Jabari slipping, you gon' think I'm tripping. I'm giving my Israelites the description. Get everything Egyptian. Robin Curtis caught it easy. He's still on Cosby Pudding. I'm robbing Black Dot for IP and antique video footage. We kicking in Garfield door looking for finance profit. But we ain't find nothing but 2 other programs in his closet. This ain't serious. Being conscious can make you delirious. So we live and have fun, but I'm just saying, son. Shit get different when the rabbit got the gun. This ain't serious. Being conscious can make you delirious. So we live and have fun, but I'm just saying, son. Shit get different when the rabbit got the gun. I'm thinking Professor Smalls get it too. His pockets are that nigga wow. He wound up robbing us to get back on my feet. I called Jack Hassan Luxury V. I robbed Jack Frost and Queen's Flip with the interviewee. Jack Frost said, yo, we family. How you get me? You know how shit be. I ain't want Flip to think you was with me. We got pulled over, somebody snitching. From my perspective, I did a double take. Oh shit, Bro Sanchez, the detective. We had to bail out, nigga. I couldn't believe shit. So we caught shotgun for 10K and extensions and weed kits. I saw St. Cole for 2/5 with Smack Lux and Mook. I robbed them niggas and gave Party family half the loot. Reggie was crying when he saw the iron like Ayo chill. I caught 20 pounds of DMT from Gano Grills. I tried to rob Sarah shooting, said he pointing the gun barrel, but he ain't have nothing in his crib but pictures of young Pharaoh. This ain't serious. Being conscious can make you delirious. So we live and have fun, but I'm just saying, son. Shit get different when the rabbit got the gun. This ain't serious. Being conscious can make you delirious. So we live and have fun, but I'm just saying, son. Shit get different when the rabbit got the gun. Shoulda had you tripping like you be bugging like. Y'all thought these niggas was conscious. These niggas wild. These niggas violate niggas. They scary, grabbing money. Yo, niggas out here grabbing pussy like Trump. Niggas got whole prostitutes on their YouTube pages and all that. Yo, this shit getting crazy out here. Somebody gotta do something about this shit. You know what I'm saying? What is going on right now? This shit wild out here, man. It's just like the wild, wild west out here. You know what I mean? Like, niggas doing anything to anybody out here, man. Gotta be some repercussions. Umar, don't think we forgot about you. You heard? Make sure that money go on them school books and them school chairs and all that. You know what I'm talking about? The first little Debbie you purchase, we coming to get the rest of that bread, B. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you heard? Faith and love, yeah. Faith and love, yeah.
Yeah, so at halftime, that's when we pass the hat around. You know, we pass the hat around and say, support the movement, you know. Support the movement. Without your support.
And I called Sai this morning to let Sai know the reason that New York is losing is because of 10 Toes. It's because of Hassan. It's because of Zip. It's because of 050.
As soon as I heard that, got on my phone, I went right to Instagram, unfollow, remove his follower. As soon as I saw that, as soon as I heard that, Zip the reason why New York losing? Who the fuck? What? I'm the reason.
New York was always known for teaching them babies. These are the things that I'm talking about. I want to see the tough guys demonstrate fatherhood. And even if they don't have children, they don't realize that when you have influence over men that are your peers, you still have influence over the babies, even if you never directly speak to them, because you're influencing their father, their uncle, their big brother, even the big homies from the neighborhood. So by us showing reading with children, by us showing but changing the narrative, I think that's how we begin to put New York back in its proper light and proper perspective, because New York was known for the gods. New York was known always for being the thought leaders. New York was always known for teaching them babies, the 5%ers, the Nation of Islam popped in Detroit and Chicago, but the conversations that went around the world from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? So when that gets restored, when we put things back in a proper perspective, then everything will fall in line.
And because majority of the dudes that's on the YouTube channel are from New York. And when I say majority of the dudes, I'm talking about the dudes from that section, the dirty section. They named it the dirty section. So Inky, you put me part of that section, saying you're all in the same barrel, in which I believe I'm not part of that section. You said that a lot of these guys is on medication and to teach these babies. I done did shows about medication and the different effects of medication. I done did shows about HIV and AIDS and promiscuity and how the disease is spread and all of that. I even did things about cancer. I did shows about credit cards, how to build your credit for those brothers that's coming home. I done did things for brothers that came home from prison, got them jobs and helped them. So my shit is totally different from them because none of them have done that. But I've been on here for 4 years. And out of the 4 years that I've been up here, I've done way more than all of them put together because none of them did it. You here blaming us.
And I called Sai this morning to let Sai know the reason that New York is losing is because of 10 Toes. It's because of Hassan. It's because of Zip. It's because of 050.
You here blaming us, blaming all the people that came after y'all, Sonetta, you, the Israelites, all the elders. You put all of y'all, so I'm gonna put all y'all in one bucket. I'm gonna put all y'all in one bucket and say, I've been on here 4 years. Where the hell you been at? All these years, I've been battling and going back and forth. Dudes is online right now, live, talking about 10 Toes Down and how I lost against Whack 100 and all this other stuff. When I promote, my promotion is, yo, listen, I'm the one that started that fighting thing. Let's stop beefing on this internet, put the gloves on and show these babies how we used to do back in the days. We could box it out in the gym and then we could hug and shake after it's over and we could become brothers and nobody make no more videos after that, no more. I'm the reason why Sonetta started even talking back to Hassan Campbell. I brought them together when you see them up in Bronx River. I'm the one that did that. I'm the one that went when they was getting that Fat Joe with the fake paperwork. I'm the one that went to the federal building. I went to the precinct. I went everywhere, got his name cleared out. I'm the one, when it comes to paperwork, I want it to be authentic. I do my research, do everything. Though they try to push me and shoot it down because I'm coming with positivity. The ones who so Inky, you say that you watch everything that's going on. Did you ever see me together with them on a channel promoting the same thing? Whenever you see me on their channel, they shooting at me. They getting at me. I'm the one that they shooting the missiles at. You never see me with nobody else ever getting at them. It's always me by myself. That's why I'm 10 Toes Down. And you said, what else was it? Yeah, that's another thing you just did. Like y'all be doing the elders. Y'all start from one thing, and we talking about why New York is losing. Then you went on calls to start talking about fruits and berries and vaginas and all this other shit. That ain't got nothing to do why New York is losing. Zip with the Drip is coming up here, and he's claiming he lived by a code. He's gangster, tough. When I was in jail, I held it down. I was this, I was that. Every story that you hear from Zip with the Drip, he's either getting beat up or backing down from some type of fight. Then you said healthy body, working out. Do you know that every Sunday, I got my truck. I got over 300 pounds of weight in there. I drive around, I go live and tell people, yo, who ready to work out? I do that on Sundays. Apparently, you don't be watching my videos. Go to my channel and look on Sundays. I'm out there in the streets driving around. Where you at? I tell them I'm not going all the way this far. I'm only doing this amount of distance. I'm doing the Bronx and Harlem. I'm doing the Bronx and Harlem today. I'm doing Queens today. I'm doing Brooklyn. I'm out there on that health tip. And I've been saying unite from the day when I came in. Bimmy even tried to do it. Bimmy said, look, I got a billionaire that's behind me that's going to build studios for everybody. And we're going to come together and we're going to do this. And he put all the beautiful stuff on it. And none of these dudes wanted to do it. So what am I supposed to do? Just continue sitting back and letting them talk negative and build this negative image in these kids?
This is why New York is losing. Let's go, Inky. Time will start when you're ready.
Again, okay, so we can start the time now. Although I'm challenging the statement of why New York is losing. So I'm challenging his reasoning. His reasoning is that New York is losing because of, you know, the Zips, the Hassans, etc. But in that video, he never included himself. So what I'm saying is you are a part of the Zips, the Hassans, the 050, the movements. And yes, I seen the video where you said you was apologizing to everybody and blah, 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 blah. But then you came on Math Hopper video with Soul B and Benny, and y'all shot at everybody that you said you was squashing the beef with. So I would like to see you get Math Hopper working out. I would like to see you getting Benny working out. These are the things that I'm talking about. I want to see the tough guys demonstrate fatherhood, and even if they don't have children, they don't realize that when you have influence over men that are your peers, you still have influence over the babies, even if you never directly speak to them, because you're influencing their father, their uncle, their big brother, even the big homies from the neighborhood. So by us showing reading with children, by us showing but changing the narrative, I think that's how we begin to put New York back in its proper light and proper perspective, because New York was known for the gods. New York was known always for being the thought leaders. New York was always known for teaching them babies, the 5%ers, the Nation of Islam popped in Detroit and Chicago, but the conversations that went around the world from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? So when that gets restored, when we put things back in a proper perspective, then everything will fall in line.
I wasn't in touch with none of them. Benny was reaching out to each one of them because at the time he was cool with each one of them individually, right? And this was Benny's plan. He said, listen, I'm going to build your own studios, right? Y'all can have your own joint, whatever you want. And we're going to have people come in and you're going to interview. Not that they're going up there doing the same thing they're doing over here. His thing was interviews. If I get LL Cool J, if I get 50 Cent, if I get this person, you're all going to get a chance to interview that person. So his whole thing was he was going to build a studio for everybody for we can do interviews. We was going to make it podcasts. Not this where we be going back and forth and talking that. Benny's vision was, and their vision down there in Tennessee, in which I'm there. She's like, she's with that. They with building that. Introduced Sonetta to Benny before. It ain't like Benny wouldn't work with Sonetta. But that's what the whole goal was. And in a nutshell, right? The whole thing really was to get us all together and work together. And we could work together by having these different stars and people come together. So right now, what we're in the process of doing, me, Benny, and others, we got a series coming out, kind of like Power. It's a series that's coming out. It's going to have a whole lot of actors. Benny is starting his own podcast channel called The Park, where he's sitting down and interviewing people, not none of this back and forth, dirty section stuff.
Okay. So will these platforms that y'all are building, you working on, will you be making sure that teaching the babies is going on? Is House of Consciousness going to be featured on these platforms? Next,
definitely House of Conscious definitely be on that. Definitely House of Conscious definitely be on that. What did you do to reconcile with you and Sonetta? Because I'm sure that y'all went at it.
Me and Sa just talked, and when we talked, we had the communication, and from the communication, I realized that what I was attempting to hold Sonetta accountable for largely wasn't, it wasn't what it was. I was mistaken. I had the wrong impression. So I had to apologize to Sa. He apologized to me. We manned up. But that's because we have a certain maturity level that may not exist in everybody in the YouTube space, especially people that only been on the YouTube space for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. When you've been on YouTube for a decade, it's different.
So I think that this is your time now, Inky Real. I think it's time for you to man up and step up, and you be the voice and go to them and say, you know what? I just had a debate with 10 toes down. Me and you need to talk, Zip. Me and you need to talk, China, Harlem. Get all of them and say you need to talk to them because you're the elder. You from the conscious community. Let's start bringing some consciousness to the goddamn dirty section. When that's going to start? My power to you.
Right, so y'all hear the premise, right? The guy, Dr. Inky, called Sonetta and told him, yo, 10 toes down is what's wrong with New York. Yeah, 10 toes down is what's wrong with New York. That's what Dr. Inky called Sonetta and told him. Set up a debate. I want to have a debate with 10 toes down because I feel like he the reason why New York is losing.
And I called Sa this morning to let Sa know the reason that New York is losing is because of 10 Toes. It's because of Hassan. It's because of Zip. It's because of 050.
As soon as I heard that, got on my phone, I went right to Instagram, unfollow, remove his follower. As soon as I saw that, as soon as I heard that, Zip the reason why New York losing? Who the fuck? What? I'm the reason.
So I think that this is your time now, Inky Real. I think it's time for you to man up and step up, and you be the voice and go to them and say, you know what? I just had a debate with 10 toes down. Me and you need to talk, Zip. Me and you need to talk, China, Harlem. Get all of them and say you need to talk to them because you're the elder. You from the conscious community. Let's start bringing some consciousness to the goddamn dirty section.
Well, health is your real wealth. That's what we talk about. So even like the Mayweather boxing fitness gyms that I have, around the country as well as around the world, we just truly believe in health is your wealth. We want you working out. We're nobody's going to be here forever, but while we're here, we only have one body, we only have one temple, so we have to take care of our bodies, and that's what I'm doing. If I'm not going to invest in anything, I'm going to invest in myself. Health is your real wealth, so I got to make sure that I'm staying in good condition, in good shape.
Go to Amazon now. Get the generational health curriculum for you and your family.
I'm cleaning this shit up. I'm exposing these lames for what they really is on the internet and all that. These old bust ass niggas. Fuck is you talking about? Like respectfully, I'm asking you that with all due respect. What the fuck is you talking about? I'm the reason why New York is losing. How you put me in that? Why you mention my name in that right there? The reason why New York is losing, nigga. You the reason why New York is losing. You ain't never left New York, nigga. I just did 20 years in jail, and you gonna blame me for New York losing? I just did 20 years in jail, and you gonna blame me for New York losing? Nigga, you was out here. You could have kept New York winning. You was out here. You could have kept New York winning. What happened? What happened? Like, as soon as I heard that, I went right to Instagram, Dr. Inky, and unfollowed you. And then I removed you as a follower as well, you heard? Because I ain't want them niggas just unfollow, keep you around as a follower and all that. Nah, you can get from around here too, you heard? You feel like I'm the reason why New York is losing. What you was following me on Instagram for? What you was following me on Instagram for if you feel like I'm the reason why New York is losing? How I'm the reason? How's I'm the reason? I just did 20 years in jail. Yeah, I'm a drug war veteran, nigga. Yeah, victim of mass incarceration, nigga. I came home. This is how y'all niggas had it out here, nigga. Y'all niggas left the streets. Y'all niggas got the streets like this, nigga. When I left the streets, nigga, it wasn't like this, nigga. I left the streets, it wasn't like this, nigga. You niggas that stayed out here, nigga, ain't go nowhere, nigga. Y'all niggas is the reason why New York losing, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga? Niggas is crazy.
Oh, when the scholars, the people on the internet that actually teach the babies, took a back seat to the paperwork parties, to the snitching videos, to the who did more years in prison, make their argument more.
I want that part to play.
Authentic snitching videos, to the who did more years in prison, make their argument more authentic.
I just did that. I just used how many years I did in prison to make my argument more authentic, nigga. You was out here in the streets. When I left the streets, they wasn't like this. They was in a better condition than this when I left the streets. I came home after all of them years in jail, and this is what y'all niggas got. This is what y'all niggas welcome the nigga to. Look what we did. Look what we did. Then you talk that when the niggas on the internet, who teach the babies, I dare you niggas to post your audience analytics and let us see how many niggas from 18 to 25 is like patched into what you niggas is doing. Fuck you, nigga, teach the babies. Nigga, ain't no babies patched in it. That weirdo shit y'all niggas be talking about. Ain't no babies listening to that shit y'all niggas be talking about. Y'all niggas ain't never been frontline with the babies. Like, let's be honest, homie. Y'all niggas ain't never been frontline with no babies, nigga. Niggas that teach the babies. If anybody watching y'all, they well off into the adult years. Yeah, very mature crowd, I'm sure. Sure, if y'all niggas post, y'all niggas analytics, audience analytics, like if y'all niggas go over here like this, right? Y'all niggas do this right. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. I can show you better than I can tell you. Took a back seat to the niggas that teach the babies. Or the niggas that took a back seat to the niggas. What? Oh well. Analytics. Audience. Age. Me. Zip with the drip. I'm lit. I got it going on out here. From 13 to 17, 1%. From 18 to 24, 5.5%. And this is me. Zip. Out of all of you niggas, the nigga with the most, like, how can I say it, like, the nigga that's really like, you know, that still got mud on his sneaker. You feel me? Like, they know me, right? 13 to 17, 1%. 18 to 24, 5.5%. You niggas put y'all's up. I bet you when they get up here to the 65 plus, y'all niggas purple lines be up here. All this 55 to 64, y'all niggas purple lines is gonna be way up there somewhere. Y'all niggas purple lines is gonna be way up there. I go to the other channel. Hold up. Go to the other channel. This is a new channel, so they be like, oh, well, those statistics are a little screwed because that's a new channel. Blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. Even worse. On the lit channel, on the lit channel where we're like, it's really going on that? The babies? I ain't got no babies over here listening to me, nigga. Ain't no motherfucking babies over here listening to me, nigga. So you niggas that was teaching the babies, right? You niggas that was teaching the motherfucking babies, why y'all niggas stop? What I got to do with what y'all niggas is doing with the babies? The babies don't watch me, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga? The babies don't watch me. 13 to 27, 0.2%. 18 to 24, 3.2%. The babies don't watch me, bro. And if mines look like this, I'm sure y'all niggas is worse. It's like, as far as, yeah. Ain't no kids watching y'all. Ain't no kids watching y'all. Like what? And niggas just be talking. I'm saying you just wanted the opportunity to be talking and saying my name, Dr. EnQi. That's what I think. It was a bad way to go about it.
When our priorities got misaligned that way, when people begin to think that Hassan Campbell was the OG of all of the platforms on YouTube, instead of House of Consciousness, instead of that root from the Black Panthers and Khalid Muhammad, those are the things that contributed to New York losing. That's the reason why New York.
So, you heard what he just said, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna let y'all.
I'm taking the L right. Instead of that root from the Black Panthers, G of all of the platforms on YouTube, that way. When people begin to think that Hassan Campbell was the OG of all of the platforms on YouTube, instead of House of Consciousness, instead of that root from the Black Panthers and Khalid Muhammad, those are the things that contributed to New York losing. That's the reason why New York is.
So why the fuck you say my name for in that in your opening argument? So why would you mention my name in your opening argument if that's the case? If that's what you surmise, that since niggas, the paperwork parties and all of that took a front seat to the mind of the conscious or whatever the fuck you just, whatever channel you just mentioned, I don't know. Right. If that's what you surmise, sir, why would you mention my name? For when I was released from the New York State Department of Corrections, this shit was already going on the internet. I came home, niggas was already having paperwork parties. Oh, yeah. 1090 in the sentence, 1090 Jake and all of that been popping. 050 and them niggas was on the internet before me, Jim Jones, paperwork and all of that. It was all type of niggas on the internet, paperwork parties and all of that before I got it. I didn't invent that term. Let me get a 1 if you think Dr. Sebi knew what he was curing people. Give me a 1 if you think he was curing people. And give me a 2 if you think Dr. Sebi was cat. He beat the U.S. in court. Cat. I get 63,000 views right here. Boom, saying. You are what you eat, right? If you only eat plants. So, instead of that, I said I had to come right back. I said what I said about the plant-based diet people. People get in the comments. They upset, maybe they got plant-based diets, I don't know. Then they start asking me about Dr. Sebi. Oh, so you think Dr. Sebi was capping? Blah, 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 blah. Bitch, who you know that had that hurt, that don't got it no more listening to Dr. Sebi? Because that's what they did. Oh, he had the cure for this, he had the cure. What the fuck did that nigga kill? Who he killed? We want to know. Who had that hurt that don't got it no more? Fuck out of here, Dr. Sebi. That nigga ain't no different than Miss Cleo to me. You are what you eat. If you only eating plants, you a bitch ass nigga. Because plants is pussy. I ain't never seen a plant do nothing to nobody, you heard? Let's get that out the way. But I'm saying, if people been eating meat, for at least 2 million years, why then would you exclude that from your diet? The phenotype affects the genotype. That's something I learned in genetics. The phenotype affects the genotype. The environment, that's the phenotype. It affects the genotype. You see how black people got them broad noses? That's because of the climate. The chinky-eyed Asians like this, that's because of the climate. Very windy. You know what I'm saying? Then years and years and years of evolution. That's why that shit happened like that. You see the Caucasians is very hairy in the mountains. Cold. Yeah, it was cold. They needed more insulation. Been putting red meat into the system for 2 million years. That shit is part of your genetic makeup now. You need that shit to survive, bro. I don't give a fuck with them people. You see all of these soft-ass niggas out here nowadays? It's a correlation, trust me. That soybean is rich in estrogen, you heard? Yeah, that's some shit that you don't need as a man. Estrogen, you don't need that shit. Especially no extra doses. You got some of it because you got it from your moms. But you don't need no extra doses of estrogen, you heard? Soybean. Eat a salad. Nah, fuck that. Give me a steak and some tap water. Let's get to that. Send me a... All right, so I post that. Hold on. Speaking of tap water. Hold on. So I post that, right? And I really feel like that. Like, you know, all these niggas running around vegan and veggie, all of that shit. I think that's why so many bitch ass niggas running around. It's part of the reason. Ain't no one thing.
Now listen, before y'all say anything, I have reached out to Zip on multiple occasions to offer him some of that blue magic for that cough. I've reached out to him on multiple occasions to get him some blue magic for that cough. So we're gonna
the direct cause of anything, bro. It's a bunch of shit. But excluding meat out the diet, I think that makes for a society full of timid niggas. Yeah. Plants is pussy. I got a plant right now. I can go in there and do whatever I want to do to the plant. Shit ain't gonna do nothing. Shit ain't gonna defend itself at all. The cat. Yeah, you can't even pet the cat when it don't want to get pet. That shit is scratch you. Back up off me, nigga. So ain't no you just do anything you want to do to the cat. You understand what I'm saying? Plants is pussy. So if all you consuming is plants, then if you are what you eat, you're a plant. You're a pussy ass plant. So I say this on Instagram, right? I'm lit on Instagram. I ain't gonna lie. So he gets about 65,000 views on Instagram. Nigga rapping, talking about 700 comments. Eat a salad, bitch, nigga.
right now. Here's my Instagram page, right? If you're not subscribed to my Instagram page, go subscribe to my IG page, right? Here's what is on my page. Whoop! You see that? So I make this post with Zip on it. And then a couple days later, 2 days later, I make the post with Sebi on it. And then after that, you see what I'm saying? I put the post with Zip on it, then I put the post with Sebi on it, and then after that, things went, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I feel partially responsible for how this turned out.
Niggas start talking about Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi. They say, oh, so what you think, Dr. Sebi was capping? You don't think he was capping? I know it's impolite to ask a question, to answer a question with a question, but it's 211 people in the chat, in the building right now. I don't know how many of y'all is participating in the chat. Let me get a 1 if you think Dr. Sebi knew what he was curing people. Give me a 1 if you think he was curing people, and give me a 2 if you think Dr. Sebi was cat.
Now listen, at this moment, I had to go take the dog out, but a lot of number ones went up in the chat. A lot of number ones went up in the chat right at that moment. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of number ones went up in that chat. But you see what I'm saying? This is because with zip content, right? With zip content, this doesn't make no sense. What are you doing, Zip? Coming way over here, attacking the vegans and Dr. Sebi. What are you doing? You totally out of pocket for this right now.
The world knew New York as Muslims, as gods. When I was growing up, we had knowledge of self. I was a god body. I'm still acknowledging myself as that. I had knowledge of self. New York, we need to get back to being civilized. Huff this gang shit. Huff the blood. Huff the crip. Let's go back to the station, nigga. Back to the Let's go back to being civilized.
That's all I'm saying, man. We got to get focused now. Zip, you supposed to be way over there with your content. You ain't got no business coming all the way over here talking about phenotypes and genotypes and was Dr. Sebi capping or not. Respectfully, you are not qualified to Zip, you gotta relax.
So I think that this is your time now, Inky Real. I think it's time for you to man up and step up, and you be the voice and go to them and say, you know what? I just had a debate with 10 toes down. Me and you need to talk, Zip. Me and you need to talk, China, Harlem. Get all of them and say you need to talk to them because you're the elder. You from the conscious community. Let's start bringing some consciousness to the goddamn dirty section.
So what you think, Dr. Sebi was capping? You don't think he was capping? I know it's impolite to ask a question, to answer a question with a question, but it's 211 people in the chat, in the building right now. I don't know how many of y'all is participating in the chat. Let me get a 1 if you think Dr. Sebi knew what he was curing people. Give me a 1 if you think he was curing people. And give me a 2 if you think Dr. Sebi was cat. I'm going to light this little cleansing up. Let me know. Misplaced loyalty. There's a lot of 1s. 1, 2 come Monte Ellis said cat. More 1s than 2s. I see the 1 and a 2. I'm gonna share this live, y'all, because I want y'all to really hear this shit that I gotta say in regards to this. Share it live. Share it live. Hit this clip. He beat the U.S. in court. Cat. I didn't say it's cat Dr. Sebi cured anybody. I'm not saying that's cat, but him beating the U.S. in court, cat. I'm calling cap on that. Public record, do your research. He won a case in the Supreme Court, proving it. Cat! Hold up. So now, check. So one of the comments was about Dr. Sebi. And so my reply, look, same day. I get 63,000 views right here. know what I'm saying? I just want to say, you are what you eat, right? If you only eat plants. So, instead of that, I said I had to come right back. I said what I said about the plant-based diet people. People get in the comments, they upset, maybe they got plant-based diets, I don't know. Then they start asking me about Dr. Sebi. Oh, so you think Dr. Sebi was capping? Blah, 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 blah. Bitch, who you know that had that hurt that don't got it no more listening to Dr. Sebi? Because that's what they did. Oh, he had to cure for this, he had to cure. What the fuck did that nigga cure? Who he killed? When you want to know? Who had that hurt that don't got it no more? Fuck out of here, Dr. Sebi. That nigga ain't no different than Miss Cleo to me. Let's get to that. Hey, yo, now, I said, well, all you motherfuckers that put one in the chat, tell me who you know that had that hurt or that house in Virginia. Yeah. Who the fuck you know had that hurt or that house in Virginia that don't got it no more because of Dr. Sebi? The world knew New York as Muslims, as gods. When I was growing up, we had knowledge of self. I was a god body. I'm still acknowledging myself as that. I had knowledge of self. New York, we need to get back to being civilized. Huff this gang shit. Huff the blood. Huff the crap. Let's go back to the essence, nigga. Back to the Let's go back to being civilized. Who you know? Don't say magic, because you don't know that nigga, and he still got it. Who you know? Oh, he brought 70 people in the court that he cured and blah, 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 blah. Which one of them 70 you know? Where they at right now? Saying, yo, I had the, what's the name? Dr. Sebi cured me. Where they at? That shit was in 1984. Ain't none of them alive no more. Where them people at, nigga? Do you know what them people came to court for? Huh? Do you know what them people ain't come to court? The United States ain't give a fuck whether or not he cured nobody. That's just what's wrong with y'all. Y'all watch a documentary on TV, y'all see some shit, y'all say, oh, the court proves it. No, do your fucking research. The court records will show that he lost against the United States of America in the courts, nigga. That they said you cannot tell people that you got the cure for anything, nigga. That's what they told him in the United States Supreme Court when he went to court in the civil case. And then in the state case, he got found not guilty of practicing medicine. That's what he got found not guilty of, nigga. Not practicing medicine. He brought 70 people in to testify. The world knew New York as Muslims, as gods. When I was growing up, we had knowledge of self. I was a god body. I'm still acknowledging myself as that. I had knowledge of self. New York, we need to get back to being civilized. Huff this gang shit. Huff the blood. Huff the crap. Let's go back to the essence, nigga. Back to the Let's go back to being civilized.
Woo! So we had to go down memory lane. That was a lot of video footage. I know some of y'all done you might have dozed off and woke back up. You done walked the dog. You done changed the cat litter. You done fed the babies. You done put some babies to sleep. You might have had a quickie. We had to get through that, right? We had to get through that for a few reasons, right? 10 told me, he said, 10, why haven't you been addressing certain things? Or that's old footage. That's old footage. Now, to respond to Zip saying, showing the analytics, again, I'm going to repeat myself. You don't have to have 15-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and 25-year-olds watching your platform in order to influence 15-year-olds, in order to influence infants. If you influence a mother, you influence an infant. If you influence a father, you influence an infant. If you influence the way somebody carries themselves, if you influence what somebody eats, you influence the baby. If you there's no isolated influence. This is the thing big corporations spend money on. They understand this at a level that we don't, obviously, right? This is why they pay influencers for influence, right? So what I'm saying is we need to carve out some of this influence and use the influence in a different space, right? When 10 Toes says that I mentioned medication, to be clear and specific, what I'm saying is that 3 out of 5 of the people watching these channels is on different medication. High blood pressure, diabetes, this one, that one, like the list goes on. We got to address that, right? When people talk about the YSL case, right? And I spoke to Young Thug's father, you know what I'm saying? I got, you know, at a few moments to interject here or there. We had a little conversation on Clubhouse, right? But the YSL case is a lot more important, right? And I'm just using this as an example. The YSL case is bigger than Gunna and Woody, right? But if you look on the pop culture channels, that's the conversation. Woody then became a celebrity from taking a stand in a potential, you know, attempted murder, RICO. Like, he then became a pop culture icon. He's a celebrity now. He on tour on YouTube from taking a stand. Right? So what I'm saying is not to change anything. Like I said, I'm a fan. I'm mad that, you know, I'm gonna hit you up. Like, I'm gonna hit you up because I need to be reinstated. I'm just saying that we have to look at some of these things from different angles. And in order to do that, we got to have some different people on these platforms every so often, right? That's all I'm saying, because when we look at the YSL case, so first things first, right? And speaking directly to the culture of paperwork parties, right? Case law is much more important in the grand scheme of things than statutory law. Case law is more important than statutory law. And the case law that's getting ready to come out of this YSL case could potentially change Black America. That's why low key is, you know, Trump is not. When Trump goes live with Aiden Ross, when Trump does a live stream with Aiden Ross, right? And he's mentioning certain things, you gotta know that he's not freestyling, right? There's a such thing as talking points. So if the YSL case becomes a talking point for the ex-president, potential next president, you gotta know that, you know, it's bigger than rap. Because if it becomes a crime to hire ex-cons, if you can potentially be in a RICO because you have gang members on your payroll, or you have ex-cons on your pay, like, what are we talking about? You know just as well as I do. His gang members is in the police force, in the military, and like, does Leo Cohen get brung up on like what, like? So there's a lot of other discussion to have besides Gunna and Woody, you know, taking a stand or signing papers or whatever. Is what's the case law going to look like? What's the ramifications? Like how does that case law, depending on how this case turns out, how does that case law affect you still pushing your music, Zip? I like it. You know what I'm saying? You're in my top 5 current new, you're in my new top 5, right? Not top 5 of all time, but my rotational, like, yeah. This case could potentially change the entire. So I'm just using this as an example to say that it's not necessarily always the conversations that are being had, but the perspectives on the conversations that's limited. And it's only a handful of people that control the thought waves on the internet. You one of them. You one of them. You control the thought waves on the internet, meaning certain people, they put content out, and then you got the rest of the content, quote unquote, creators, which is really remixers and repackagers, but they just basically take the content that certain people put out, and that's the content. Mind detect mind. I can listen to some of your content and tell that you're way more evolved than you allow people to. So it's no reason why between your YouTube platform and your podcast that you're not having some of these other conversations. Or if you're branding those a certain type of way, come over here. If my platform is too small, we can go over to another platform. Right? If my platform is too small, I got tough skin. It's okay. I done built up some channels, lost some channels. Right? We can go to another platform. He got some more numbers, respectfully, larger reach. We can go over there. We can have a sit down and discuss some things that maybe you wouldn't discuss on your channel. Lend your voice to some bigger conversations, some more important conversations, because you have your voices, Same thing with 050 now. 050, I got them on the record. Yo, this nigga right here, China Brim, is my star witness.
The world knew New York as Muslims, as gods. When I was growing up, we had knowledge itself. I was a.
So he's starting platforms. If you're starting platforms, when I was talking to 10 Toes Down, he said I'm mixing up the conversation by saying that, I'm changing the conversation to food, fruits and berries and vegetables. I'm changing the conversation to food and talking about vaginas and penises. And I don't know there to be no other conversations, or whether you in the street space or the health space or the religious space or the chasing money space, like who's not, like sex a part of every conversation. So the health space is everywhere. The health space is everywhere on every level of our culture. Like it affects us, even if we on the most surface level with it, with, how good your skin look, how good your body look, how well you perform in the bed. You know what I'm saying? That's for ladies. That's for men. How many relationships break up for bad sex because, a woman step out because she feel like whatever the case may be. And more than half of the women, they don't realize that the reason why they having bad sex is because they got a bad box. They having bad sex because they got a bad box. Because they eating wrong, they drinking wrong, their body is chronically dehydrated, and so their clitoris is not getting the engorgement that it's supposed to get. The same way a man gets hard, pause, a woman's supposed to get hard. And if she don't, it don't matter what you do to that thing, it's not going to get to where it got to go. She's not going to have an orgasm. But that's a personal problem. That ain't got nothing to do with her partner. And if she experienced that and then her response is to use toys and the rose and this and get stronger toys and strong, she's going to start to destroy the sensitivity. And the nerve ending is going to stop responding. So it's a lot of different conversations we need to have on multiple levels. We could talk about health on the surface level, or we could deal with, you know, people chasing money. What's the purpose of chasing money if by the time you get the money, you too sick to enjoy it? What's the purpose of chasing money if by the time you get it, you're too sick to enjoy it? Cats can't even go one-on-one. They can't even play their son in basketball. You know what I'm saying? I had an experience, like the most thing you think of is a father having a heart attack, dying on the basketball court because he not in shape to play with his son. I've had experiences with close friends, you know, like my homie Vic, he died on the basketball court playing against his pops. Like it's a lot of conversations we need to have, you know what I'm saying? And so when you use your voice, Zip, right? When you use your voice, Zip, and you tell the people that are probably on the fence, but they listening to you. They listening. And you clown eating better. You clown Dr. Sebi for teaching and inspiring people to eat better. Right? Right? I'm still a fan, you know. We still, you know, but we got to have some other conversations. And if that's something you interested in, you know, it's somebody that you can ask those questions, somebody qualified, you know. 586-298-5000. It's somebody that's actually qualified. You know what I'm saying? You could text my phone, you know, like, yeah, somebody qualified that can answer those questions in private without no fake weirdo, you know, recordings and nothing. Go, you know, just regular convo. And then if it's something that you want to go live with and bring to the people, we could do that. Right. But that's the cause of the fall of New York. When the legs got cut out from under the nation of gods and earths and people stopped respecting that blueprint of information. Even when you get to the street, remember, community revolution in progress. That's the, you know, that's supposed to be, or something similar to what the Crip moniker is. Brotherly love, overcoming oppression and destruction. That's supposed to be the blueprint for the morals that the Blood's following. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the street is still supposed to have a moral compass that was based on knowledge of self, right? And so you can't have a moral compass if there's no setting to the compass, right? If you use a magnetic compass, the magnetic compass points north. That pointing north would be the knowledge. That north pointing in the moral compass would be knowledge. If there's no knowledge base, if nobody's bringing in the experts, if nobody's bringing in the OGs, if nobody's bringing in the vets, it's wasted conversation. And it's wasted space and airways, right? Because we got to look around and say, you know, you can't hold music important to you and then say you don't have the same love, reverence, and respect for what the Zulu Nation used to be. Or the 5% Nation, what they used to be, because that literally is the origin of the hip hop. And that came from the street. That's street culture, right? Zulu Nation was the Black Spades, right? All the lyrics, you know, I mean, you had the overconscious, you know, and then you had but even NWA, you know what I'm saying? NWA was, you know, They was trying to voice what was on their mind. It wasn't what it is today. What it is today is really different. You know what I'm saying? We know Uncle Luke for popular, but that's not how he started. Right. So I'm just saying we need to have some different voices and going, this primarily a response. I know I don't went all over the world with clips, but that's because my audience primarily, they have no idea what's going on. We're supposed to be talking about melanin and something else. Right. And that video's coming. I just pushed it back a little bit, but that video's still coming. Right. So don't think that I done lost track. You know what I'm saying? But I had to explain because, my people was like, Inky, what is happening right now? So all of the clips, hopefully provided a little bit of edutainment, but caught everybody up to where we are in the conversation right now. The cross dialogue between the conscious community and the YouTube streets, right? The conscious community and the YouTube streets need to have more of a cross section, a cross dialogue, right? Especially in New York, right? Especially in New York. So Zip, I'm ending the conversation with Zip, I'm ending the conversation with an invitation to bring you on over. You can come over here. I can come over there. You can go to Sonetta. We can go, and have some more conversation, right? But yeah, this video been long. This video been long. 10. Send me your math 10 so we can, pick up where we left off.